Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
Wait for me, I'm coming. Wait for me, I'm coming with you. Wait for me, I'm coming too. Welcome, everybody, to the Come Hang Out podcast. And I'm reviewing the Hadestown pro shoot today, singing way down, Hadestown, way down under the ground. Long story short, if you just want to get out of this video quick, I gotta just say, first up, it was probably the best pro shot Broadway musical I've ever seen in my entire life. It was just incredible. And I've seen Hadestown live. I've seen it in real life. And being in the theater with other people and experiencing it and having a good experience in the New Jersey AMC Newport Theater. I know it's insane. Nobody's ever said that sentence before, but I just did. I'm the first to do that. The only other way you can feel so individualistic is if you shuffle a deck of playing cards, because there will always be a new orientation. But we shuffle it anyway, just like Hadestown. It's a sad song, but we sing it anyway. To think that it will be different that time, I learned it from a friend of mine. That's Hadestown. That's from Hadestown. So I saw Hadestown a few years ago on the 1000th performance, and it was still the original Orpheus, Eurydice. It's you. It's me. Now, for anybody unfamiliar with Hadestown and going into this, and if you don't like musicals, like, I'm going to personally apologize, because the whole thing is a musical. It's Hamilton on steroids, all right? The stage for them just doesn't spin. It goes up and down in the coldest time of year. Why is it so hot down here? And it's like the way the show is staged and told and shot for this pro shoot, it does almost feel like, at times, an actual production of the musical. And that just goes to show how well everything, like, it's crazy, because Hadestown, it was like a 10-year journey. Like, there's a long story on how the show came to be, and the many, many renditions, and the shortfalls of it coming together and falling apart, and coming together and falling apart, and it becoming something that it wasn't originally was, and it getting back on track. There's so much lore to the production, and that's not even about the story they're telling. Greek mythology is back, baby. We can't get enough. We got the Odyssey. We're going to come back to the Odyssey, but we got the Odyssey, and now we got way down, Hadestown, way down under the ground. And I gotta say, as I gotta, like, give a couple notes, because, and a lot of them are really good notes. Most of them are good notes. I would say all of them are good notes. We have the Fates. Everybody meet the Fates. And my God, did they steal the show, especially this one Fate, who she had such a deep voice that, like, it was very different from the studio album, but it worked and it was spooky. At first I was like, the Fates aren't spooky enough, but they got spooky. All right, the Fates, you better think quick, you better act fast. What's a king gonna do if he can't watch his back? What you gonna do when the chips are down? Now that the chips are down, and they're all dancing. What you gonna do when the chips are down? Now that the chips are down. And I'm saying, if anybody doesn't like musicals, good luck, because this thing is a musical start to finish. Tip to tail, soup to nuts. They're singing the entire time. And I loved it. And every single, and let me say this again, like, you can tell this was years and years, because no second of that entire production doesn't seem methodically thought out. To even when Orpheus jumps off of a table, his feet land in time with the song. It, like, what are we doing here, people? Nobody should be able to think of this stuff, let alone execute it on stage. It was just, there are so many things you picked up on. And I feel like after a rewatch, I'll be able to pick up on more things. I wonder who's going to be streaming this, whether it be Peacock, Paramount, HBO, Netflix, or Apple, maybe even Amazon. But it like was an absolute joy, and I was stuck. Like, I was like locked in. Like, the screen sucked me in. My eyes were stuck, just listening to maybe the greatest, experiencing the greatest love story ever told, maybe of all time. So if anyone doesn't know the story of Orpheus and Eurydice, you got a poor boy who's poor named Orpheus, and that boy is broke, all right? He does not invest in the S&P 500. The dude doesn't even have a savings account, bro. He's all checking with no interest, bro. He's poor, all right? He's broke. He's a broke, poor father, all right? And then you got Eurydice, and she's hungry, bro. She just want to eat. I'm like, somebody feed this girl. You can't stop talking about how hungry she is. She's so hungry, and she's cold, and she's hungry again, but she's also cold. And Orpheus, right? He's working on a song to fix what's wrong. And when he sings it, spring will come. Orpheus is writing a song that will fix spring. But Eurydice is so hungry, bro. That girl's so hungry, she can't wait. She's like, I'm starving, I can't wait. I'm gonna go to hell. I'm gonna go to hell as long as I can get food in this hand. I'll go to hell. She sticks her hand out and she's like, take me with you. Just give me a loaf of bread. Give me something, please. I'm hungry. But Orpheus is too busy working on that song to fix what's wrong, and doesn't know Eurydice is gone until it's too late. And then he has to go to Hadestown. But he has to take the long way down, all right? Through the undercover of night, laying low. He has to stay out of sight. And it's a really hard trek down there, because there ain't no compass, ain't no map, just a telephone wire and some railroad track, all right? And he has to go down and bring Eurydice back. So that's kind of the A storyline, to sum it up. And the B storyline has to do with Hades and Persephone. Persephone is the embodiment of spring, and when she comes, she brings the summertime, and everybody has a good time. But when she's gone, fall comes on. And Hades has built hell up into this mechatropolis, and Persephone's doesn't like that, because she's a nature girl. She all loves the plants, right? So she's like, this is so much metal and stone and lights and cable. And she hates it. In the darkest time of year, why is it so bright up here? Brighter than a carnival. It ain't right and it ain't natural. And then Hades like, love her everything I do. I do it for the love of you. If you don't even want my love, I'll give it to someone who does. Someone who can appreciate and to be thankful of the fates. And they're just like, always getting into it, but they're also always singing. And I love when characters are just constantly forced to sing, even though like they don't want to, or it's like not fitting for the story, or they kind of are like, I gotta like sing this one part. Like a good example is like the Lost Boys. They're doing that opening number, the opening number where they kind of like explain what the musical is. Think about like Dear Evan Hansen. Does anybody have a map? Does anybody happen to know? Maybe have to do this. I don't think you can tell, but this is me just pretending to know. So where's the map? And in Lost Boys, Where's the Map song in the beginning, they all go to Santa Carla and they have to like talk about how they're going to experience their city, but they're doing it in song, so they have to do like a right? So in the song, the show The Lost Boys, the mom's like, I'm gonna start a new life, and then the nerdy kid is like, I'll be the best of me, and then the emotional teenage boy who turns out to be a vampire, turns into a vampire, middle in the show, just wants to get the heck out of there and just wants to burn the city to the ground, so he has to sing his line, but since it's a song, he has to add the so he's just like, I'm gonna wreck this scene, It's just so unnecessary, and I love it because he just doesn't want to say the but he has to because it's a musical. Another thing I love about it is the song Orpheus is singing is working on the entire time. There's a big portion of the song where there are no words, and he just does the la 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 la. And there's one part of the show where he goes to Hadestown and he has to sing a song to make the walls weep. I'm not even. I sang a song so beautiful. It made the stone walls weep. It's so good, bro. He's like, he gets the Hadestown Eurydice. He's like, hey, Orpheus, how the hell did you get here? And Orpheus is like, I sang a song so beautiful. It turned into tune. It turned into time. No, that's not what he says. He says, I can't even say. It's so funny, but it's so good. Yes. She goes, how did you get? She goes, how did you get here? He goes, I walked a long way. And then she goes, how did you get beyond the wall? He goes, I sang a song so beautiful. The stones wept and they let me in. And I can sing us back again. And it's like, oh my God. So the actor who plays Orpheus in the original Broadway musical, he did 1,000 performances, so he was probably a much younger lad when he started it, right? And the Orpheus character is supposed to be this naive lover boy, but this insane acting choice that the actors playing Orpheus, it's all the original cast, even though one person was sick, one person lost their vocal cords, one person completely blew, Hades blew out his leg, all right? Hades' leg, was in a cast the whole time. And, it did hinder his dancing when he danced with Persephone in that one scene. Da-da-da, da-da, da-da, brother, they dance. Da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da, da-da. But the choice, Orpheus, seemed like he wanted to play the character a little bit more heroic, as if this is happening to a later in life Orpheus, like the older Peter Parker in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And he comes out with this deep voice some of the time, even though in the album he's coming in with this high-pitched voice. And a lot of his lines are these ditzy lines because he's just supposed to be this ditzy lover boy. When he quote unquote saves Eurydice at the end, Eurydice is like, Orpheus, you finished the song. And he's like, I know. And then he's like, what do I do now? And she's like, you take me home. And he's like, I take you home, but how? He goes, and then she's like, we'll walk. You know the way. We'll just go back the way you came. And Orpheus is like, it's a long walk. It's a long way back into the cold and dark. Do you really want to go? He's already giving her the option. He's like, yo, girlie, I traveled through hell to save you, but if you don't want to come, that's fine. I love you so much. You can stay with Hades. But then the whole myth, song, story is that Orpheus does finish the song, and it's so beautiful that Hades is like, he can't not let them go. Like, tell me if you can say no to this lover boy right here. Ready? This is me impersonating Orpheus. Ready? La 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 la. Wait for me, I'm coming. Wait for me, I'm coming with you. I'm coming, wait. Like, how can you say no to that? I'm coming, wait for me. Wait, I hear the walls repeating. Wait, the summon of our feet. Wait, it sounds like drumming. Wait, and I am not alone. Wait, I hear the rocks and stones. Wait, echoing my song. I'm coming. So how could you say no to Orpheus? The bro looking like this with the bro's looking like this with the red bandana and the flower in hand, and he's like, please give me back my girl. And then the king is like, damn, like that song was so good, I can't not give him back his girl. So the king, Hades, is like, Orpheus the underside shall not turn to look behind. She's out of sight and he's out of his mind. Every coward seems courageous in the comfort of a crowd, but something is contagious when the band is playing loud. Orpheus, this jack of hearts, with his kiss, the riots start. And it's one of those, it's like such a complex story, and I'm not doing it any justice on this podcast because I'm not saying the incredible actors' names. I'm not saying anybody's names except for their characters' names, but their performances are transcendent, baby. If you like musicals, if you like Greek myths, don't look behind you. Look forward and see Hadestown. Even though it's probably out of theaters by the time I'm posting this podcast. But if you saw it, I'm so glad that you got to experience something so incredible. And now I'm going to tell you about when I saw Hadestown in real life. So a quick story when I saw Hadestown on Broadway on the 1000th performance. I was sitting front row all the way to the left, and I don't know if the production was meant to be seen from that angle, but my God, even though I was to, stage right, audience left, the placement of that seat, just framed the entire musical in a completely different light. And there was a point where Hades sat in a chair and crossed his legs, and the opening between the cross and his legs framed Orpheus so perfectly that it was felt, again, everything in this musical just felt extremely intentional. The shots were ambitious. My only problem was during my showing of Hadestown, there was a very loud movie next door, and I couldn't figure out what movie it was until I realized that it was probably the Odyssey, because it's been playing the entire time, and I haven't seen the Odyssey yet, but something about that movie doesn't strike me as a quiet film. So at every single quiet moment, you would just hear so it was, and again, like TikTok coming in strong here. My entire feed for like the next 2 days was nonstop memes about people trying to watch the Hadestown musical and the Odyssey, just invading their theater with the audio, just absolutely punishing every single person in the theater to be like, you are experiencing the Odyssey while watching Hadestown. Deal with it, deal with it, deal with it. There's other, you could blah, 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 blah. Lastly, I have to say that my audience, so I rated the movie pretty good. My audience was like also like a fantastic audience. Like when the title came on, we cheered. And I went, way down Hadestown, and everybody started and everyone started cheering. Woo! We cheered when the actors took a bow. We cheered after a couple songs. There was like one song that didn't get any cheering and another song that did get cheering, and I was surprised that like this softer song got a big rise, but like a bigger song didn't. And like I'm telling you, like when he sings and goes to Hadestown and makes the walls move, the visual stunning of the set moving, like it translates so well on camera. I can't even begin to tell you how well it translates. But there was one woman in the audience who unfortunately just could not get off her phone. She was like on her phone the whole time, not on dark mode, light mode, just scrolling her text, scrolling Instagram. I was like, girl, listen, baby, you're listening to you're witnessing the greatest love story every single time, and you can't give the algo a break. You can't let Zuck, you can't get off the Zuck for 5 seconds. You have to be on your phone. And listen, like, I wouldn't mind, like, her screen brightness was bright in the beginning, but she lowered it. But then there was a moment where she clicked her AMC ticket, and when you click the AMC ticket on an iPhone, it pops that brightness all the way up, and it just illuminated the theater, and she was like, oh my god, and I'm just like, get off your phone. It's 2.5 hours of greatest love story ever told. There's really no boring parts. It never really lost my interest, and even if there was a slower song that, wasn't my favorite, it added to the story. It progressed the narrative. There's not really a stinky song in the entire production. There's no baseball mitt song. There's no ragtime. Ain't this the kind of weather to get together and watch some baseball, which is two different, baseball songs. I'm talking about one Dear Evan Hansen, I'm talking about one ragtime. But like, if you like Broadway, if you like Hadestown, if you're interested in Greek mythology, or you're just interested in seeing an extremely well-executed production, check out Hadestown and wait for me, because I'm coming. Wait for me. I'm coming with you.